Hi, everybody. Welcome to the worst year yet. My name's Emma,
I'm Aubrey.
and welcome to the BDE podcast episode. What,
uh, 4, 5.
4 or 5? We don't know.
I've lost track of all concept of time. So
Yeah,
that's the one thing that I learned during 2020 is that time isn't real.
no, not at all.
And same with love. Love doesn't exist.
No, I had a funny comment. Oh no, we're starting this one on a good step, aren't we?
What was your funny comment?
It literally was so unrelated. I was gonna be, yeah, I was sitting around the other day and I forgot Christmas happened. And you're like, love doesn't exist.
Ooh. It's been that kind of year.
And we're 12 days
Yeah, it's literally been like no, it's been like a week or something. So like, almost like 2 weeks,
in? Yeah.
and it's already
So much
proved
has
to be
happened.
worse. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say it, okay? Before anyone else does, I went into this year and was like, everyone thinks it's going to be better. It's not. It's not.
Mhm.
There's no way it's going to. And everyone was like, you're being so negative and like, it's gonna. No. And guess who was right? This one right here. I'm just
Mhm.
putting it out.
I felt the exact same way. I was like, no way is are all of our problems going to be solved just from a new little number put on the year. Mm-mm. And I was right because oh
Also,
my god.
man, they didn't skip a beat, did they?
No, Jesus. Like I thought like maybe we could have a good month, first month, give the people some hope, but no, we hit the ground running just with the bad stuff.
Everything. It was like, hey, let's have like a couple good days, maybe. And then we'll go into the worst year yet because the world is on, and by the world, most of the world's doing fine. America's on fire.
Yeah, for real. I'm just I feel like I'm more confused than like anything else because just like what is happening, you know?
I wish I knew. Because I haven't been on social media as much, not for
Mhm.
any reason. I just haven't been. And I was at work when this whole thing went down. Like I'm doing my thing. I'm making calls.
Mhm.
And actually how I found out was my team lead. And she was like, hey, dude, have you heard what's been going on? And I was like, no, I've been sitting at my desk. You have been watching me sit at my desk. And I don't check my phone, which is not true. But I wasn't on social media. I was like looking at like
Yeah.
Tumblr or like aesthetic pictures. Um, no, that raiding of the Capitol, a
Yeah.
terrorist attack from our own country.
Literally insane because I was getting my driver's license picture taken. I was at the DMV when this was all happening, and I got home, and my brother was like, "Did you see what happened?" And I was like, "No, I've been at the DMV all day," which is also a terrible experience to have gone through, but it and I look so much more angry in my new license plate or driver's license picture than I have before. And that's saying something because I looked so mad in my last one. And I think that I'm just getting more bitter as I get older, um, which is hard to do. I feel like I can't get much more bitter than I already am. But yeah, I got home and I was like, uh, why? That's my question. Why? What was the
It's
point?
such a, it's just, my God, because
Yeah.
I just see me, I'm sitting at my desk, I'm making calls across the country. That's my whole job. And I hear nothing from any of these business people who could tell me.
Mhm.
And I find out because my office is mostly conservative. I know a couple people, not going to say names because I don't want to get murdered at work. But it was shocking that I found out people weren't. And then can't talk about that, but insane. My sister's fiance looked just like one of the guys in the pictures, like
Oh my
exact.
god.
And I almost texted her, but I'm like, no, no, I don't feel like this is a
Oh,
good time to be
yeah.
like, fiance looks like this guy, dog. So I didn't.
I
But
really enjoy that one picture of who everyone's calling Mima, is that like really old lady with the flag, and I think it's so funny, but like it's also arrest her, but like also so funny.
it's also
Don't arrest her. She's
like
too precious.
if you're not making memes of things, because it's also the big one also was the Demi Lovato thing when she was like, I'm making music about this, and everyone did the
Yeah.
camp things. Like it was so good. So good. And it's just like good for you, but also like
No. Yeah. I think that this is exactly how last year started too. Last year we were like less than a week in and everyone was making jokes about World War III happening.
that was
That was last year. I know. I forgot about that too.
time doesn't exist because
Mhm.
that felt like a year ago. No, like a couple of years ago. Like
Yeah. But that literally happened that's how we started last year. So I have no hope for the future.
can't have one good moment,
Yeah,
can we?
for real. And the other scary thing too is that um so there's this kid that went to my high school who is like a white supremacist basically. Um and I'm pretty sure that he was there storming the Capitol with people. Um and it really freaked me out because I started watching this, I think he's a Twitch streamer. Um he reminds me a lot of Noel Miller. I love him. I would low key simp for this man. His name's Hassan and he does like political commentary kind of, but he also like does gaming stuff because he's on Twitch. Twitch scares me, but I was watching like one of the clips that he uploaded onto YouTube, and he said this kid's name, and I was like, "How do you know of this man that went to my high school?" But he like people know who he is. I'm not gonna like say his name, but like people know who he is because he is like verified on Twitter and like has a ton of followers and stuff because he's like super radical. People like I have this app called Nextdoor where it's just like a bunch of suburban moms that gossip about things, and like people like hate him on there, like they're constantly like talking about him, and it's just like it was whack. But also I love Nextdoor. I just want to say that. I love hearing mom gossip. It's so fun, and I think it's the best decision that I made is to join that app this year because oh my god, I love it.
I absolutely adore our neighborhoods because I live in a weird area where it's like, this is saying it nicely, like rednecks.
Mhm.
And there's a couple people who aren't obviously, like, I'm not saying myself, um, but like there's a group of people that are like normal. And on Nextdoor, it's so they'll be like, there was this truck that was way too loud. I was sleeping. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, everyone in this neighborhood owns a truck. You like, good luck finding which one. But they were also like, not on a not funny note. This is known as one of the safest part of Memphis because it's like 30 minutes outside. And
Mhm.
we have had 3 crimes happen since the year started. Three.
Jeez.
Not like crimes like someone stole something, crimes like there was a shooting and got murdered in his house,
God damn.
and 2 men were walking around with firearms breaking into cars. Like,
There's
I
been
don't
a
know,
lot of
Dante.
there's been a lot of crimes this year to start off with. I mean, like Chicago too. Like I know there's been so many carjackings. That's like the newest like crime trend. Hashtag crime trend. Carjackings. Um, but yeah, I literally saw something, and it was like I think Chicago is ranked number one in homicides and crime for 2020, which Loki kind of got hyped about, which definitely shouldn't have. But I was like, yeah, we're number one, baby.
We're number one at something.
Yeah.
No, because at work, our work is like the middle of a business area because I work at an actual business. And they apparently, a lady from my work sent out an email and she was like, hey, so someone tried to break into my car while I was in it today. And I was like, I sit in my car for lunch because I don't want to be sitting with everybody in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would happen? I'm like, Kian's on the phone with me, but what is he gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
What would he do? Nothing. Like, and apparently they saw her and ran away, thank God. Like it was kind of a thing where they were trying to do it. I don't know how they didn't see her, but and that's what's happening. Every week there's another story, and I'm like, well, next it has to be me. But there's only so many of us in our cars, and I have a little mom car, so I think they think it could beat me up. And when I say I think they think that, they know. And they're right.
Dude, it's not my car, but I drive a PT Cruiser. No one's gonna steal that. They might see that it's turbo boosted and try to steal it because that's dope as fuck, but like, no one's gonna try to take my PT Cruiser. That's, it's not as bad as a green Kia Soul, but it's like up there, you know? We got Kia Souls and then like maybe like something else and then maybe the PT Cruiser, but like that's the one thing that keeps me going in life is I don't drive a Kia Soul.
Let's talk cars real quick. Let's take a little segue into cars. I've always hated Kia Souls, but no one is getting onto Jeep. Okay, let's talk about the fact Jeep has a car that looks exactly like a Kia Soul, but it's cool because it's a Jeep.
Yeah.
And then, have you seen the Jeep trucks?
I've seen them all over the place. They're they make me so uncomfortable.
I like, they'll try to pack, because usually the most I see them is 140 from Memphis to Nashville. And you like, you're embarrassing yourself. Like, you could be the nicest person, but if you drive a Jeep truck, dude, all respect, God. Like, you're just like, it's the ugliest truck. Well, if you're gonna get a truck, fit in with the rest of the F-150s, all right?
Yeah, just get a Ford. It's not like a Jeep truck is the equivalent of like it's like number 2 on the worst car list under the Kia Soul. And then I think after the Jeep truck is the Cybertruck that Tesla came out with. Because what the fuck was that?
That's better than the Jeep truck, and that's what's sad. That's what's sad. No, I mean, ew, gross. But my car is a Mitsubishi. You know, that's not a popular brand. Every time I see a car that kind of looks like mine and is that brand, I get excited. like it's not a nice car by any means. I just bought it while it wasn't over 100,000 miles, and that's, if you're getting a used car, that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, like no one's gonna like their first car that they buy, for the most part. I feel like
I'm trying to hold on to this car though, because I'm like, I don't want to have to buy a new car at some point.
Yeah, that's for like when you have an adult job after a couple of years, and then you can buy like a nice car.
I know. I keep thinking about the fact that one day I might live in a suburban neighborhood by choice. Like, not, like obviously I live in one, but like by choice, by my own accord. I'm like, you know what? Let's get a house in like, I couldn't think of a suburban town that's not right next to mine, but like,
if I live in the suburbs and drive a minivan, put me down. Take me to the backyard and put me down because I would be unwell. I never want to have to drive a minivan. That's
That's where I draw the line, okay? Living in the suburbs, if the price is right, okay. But
yeah,
a mini,
a minivan?
I'm against
Absolutely not.
they're gonna take me out.
You're gonna need to euthanize me. I'm gonna need to get put down because I can't. It's the equivalent of thinking if I oh god, if you buy a minivan you are unwell. It's the equivalent. Yeah, all right, we'll keep going down the list. Kia Soul, you need help. You need to be put in a jail cell immediately. Then we got the Jeep trucks, which is like you're probably having a really rough time, but like you have some hope there, but like still not really. Then the Cybertruck, you think that you're funny, but you're probably not. We'll say that. And then if you drive a minivan, someone needs to put you down.
I will give the exception to the rule, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our age, if it's passed down to you, sure. Any car, if it's
Yeah,
passed down to you, I'm
yeah.
like, I get it. Okay, that's not on you, dog. Like
This
that
is
is
by
on
choice. It's stuff by choice.
by choice. Everything here is by choice, and I'm just gonna say, my parents popped out 4 kids in 6 years. They needed a minivan. Okay, if you're gonna do something crazy, like have 4 kids, then get
Yeah,
a.
but
I mean, sure.
I feel like there's
You
so
are
many cars with the back seat thing that you can that are like look so much better than minivans. If you have a
no, my mom.
minivan that has the little like pop out like TV screen in it, then you really need help. But also, you're really fucking cool because you can watch movies. Um,
I was driving behind one the other day, and I kept getting really close because I was like, I feel like I know that
and
movie, and I'm like
yes,
trying.
I do the same thing whenever I'm driving on the highway and I see that because you can always tell when they're watching a movie, especially when it's dark. I try to get as close as I can because I want to know what they're watching.
I mean, that's okay. Those are like god tier minivans. Like I'll give you the pass on the
Mm,
TV. We never had a TV minivan. Okay, never. We had two.
it shows. No, I'm kidding.
I think we had three. I don't know if you'd count the last one as a minivan, but there was one when I was a baby. Don't remember it. There was the one that like I kind of grew up with, and then my mom got another car, and
Mm.
it was a Lincoln MKT that was very used, but it was nice. I mean, it had a fridge in it,
Oh.
which I don't talk about enough. Okay, I loved that car. My mom sold that car. I was so mad because I wanted it to be mine because I drove
Mm-hmm.
it the most. Um, Rest in peace, the Lincoln MKT. But that's technically a minivan, but it's like a sick minivan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Like,
like giving all my exceptions to the rule with minivans.
yeah, if there's like some pizzazz in it, then it's fine. But if it's just like a regular, what are like the most basic minivans? Is it a Chevrolet or a Toyota? I think it's
Toyota.
yeah, I think it's a Toyota. The Chevrolet is the cooler looking one, but I mean even still, like
They're the
those
ones
two.
with the automatic.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm thinking though in like my childhood days, we had one that like it wasn't automatic. You had to swing it
Slide
open. You had
it.
to use all to slide it open. Um, and I don't. You know what? You know what? Minivans are for losers. Get a sports car and put your 4 kids in it. Who
Yeah, just
cares about? Get a
yeah, throw them
sports
in the
car.
trunk. Also, don't have kids. Who needs kids?
I've I've decided. So the other day, so I've kind of, when I was younger, I was like, I want 3 kids. And then I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I want 1 kid. And the other day, I was just doing my thing, going about my life, and I saw a kid. I don't remember what they did, but they did one thing, and I was like, you know what? I don't want kids anymore. Like, can you, I can't even wrap my mind around. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be anytime soon, but like, still at the same time, like,
Yeah, no. I've
what's appealing?
never I've never wanted kids, honestly. like maybe everyone always is like, you're gonna change your mind in the future, and I'm just like, I literally want to vomit every time that I look at a baby. Like,
See, I love babies. I love the idea of a baby and like a young toddler when they're learning to speak. As soon as they hit, my biggest fear is becoming a teenager. And by that, I mean turning 10. You know, as soon as they get there to the rest of their life, I don't want anything to do with them.
mm-hmm.
And God forbid I ever have a kid and they see this one day. But I'm being honest, all right? Because I don't want a teenager. Okay. I know what they're like. I was one.
Yeah.
I I was friends with them. I don't want anything to do with that anymore. No.
Yeah.
Just like when they're 10, you're like, okay, here's some cash. Go figure it out, buddy. Just kidding. That is child abuse. I'm not saying do that, but I
I
don't
would
know.
I would rather be the cool aunt that's like not really the aunt but is like the friend, and I feel like I could totally nail that. Like I'll totally be that aunt that harasses them but like in the best way possible and like slides them $100 bills during the holiday, and also would totally get trashed and ruin the party.
because I have 3 aunts, and I'm not gonna say which one. It's a gamble, but one of them is sick. And I can say, well, I can't really say that. I'm gonna say it. What, she has kids. I mean, she has kids, and her kids are like, but like she dog is who exactly who are her age. Exactly. There is no difference between who she is and who I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
except
The kids part.
except kid. Yes, no kids, and also I want to like live somewhere cool. Like I
Mm.
was thinking today because I've been one. I wanted to live in like England for a long time, ever since I got into One Direction. And guess what? Still want to live in England. Not for the same reason. But if I happen to run into Harry Styles on the streets, I'm not gonna complain. But I'm like thinking, have you seen the movie Notting Hill? Like the rom com Notting Hill?
No,
You need to. I don't know how much of a rom com person you are though.
not
But
at
that movie
all.
changed my life, and now I want to live in Notting Hill. So I was like, I'm gonna look up Notting Hill apartments.
I don't know.
It was like, and this is all in pounds, so I'm just gonna pretend it's dollars because I don't have math brain. It was like a month, $10,000 for an apartment.
That's like, I'm pretty sure the exchange rate right now is like a dollar is the, it's like 150 is equivalent to a dollar or something. It might be switched. So it's like add like another a fourth of that to the price basically, or like 50%. So it's like
And it had like
15,000 a month. That's crazy.
two there. It had like 6 bedrooms, which I that doesn't make it an apartment in my opinion.
It's
But
like a
like
house.
it's a house. It's a house connected to a bunch of other houses. It's a townhome.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But pretty much, I don't know if they called it that because I was on a really strange website that might have given my computer a virus. But like,
Fun.
no, I mean, but do you ever just like, I could avoid so much conflict if I just didn't live in the country anymore. Like, family event you don't want to go to. Oh, sorry, I'm stuck. Like, I can't leave. Because that's been all I'm thinking about recently. Is I'm like, man, if I went out of the country, I have no, everything's an excuse. Someone's like, oh, will you come to my wedding? No, no,
I
I don't
don't
have
live
to.
here. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I'll
like,
have dinner with you,
yeah.
but like,
That,
that's it.
that'd be so nice. Also, you don't have to deal with all. God, America is like, it's cool here, but also, what are we doing? That goes out to everyone right now. What the heck are we doing, man?
I don't know. I'm looking at my bed and I don't even have like the fitted sheet is half off it. That's what I'm doing. Like that. No, my room is a representation of
America.
yeah, yeah. It's nothing makes sense. And this I kind of cleaned up because I was like, I know people are gonna somewhat see what's behind. I didn't think about my skincare section right there, but like
That's okay.
as soon as you pass where the computer shows, I don't know.
We got a sponsor for this week's episode, guys. We're sponsored by Reshop. It is a reused clothing brand. You can follow them over on Instagram. We will leave it in the description down below. They got some super cool stuff. They just did their first drop this week. So go check them out if you would like to get some cool clothing items. All right. Back to the podcast. What were we talking about?
I know we were talking about cars. We were talking about the state of the U.S.
Yeah. There's something that I wanted to say, but I totally forgot what it was.
Dang it. Let me think. Has anything happened that I'm so tired? I can't think of anything.
I posted my first TikTok the other day.
Yeah, let's talk about TikTok. Let's do that as a topic.
Yeah, so I posted my very first like TikTok a couple days ago. And like I was expecting like only my friends to see it cuz I have like 3 followers. And it got like 400 views. And was I was like that's cool, but I don't know if I want other people to be seeing this video because it was like, tell me you're mentally unstable without telling me you're mentally unstable. And it was like a video of me with like a trench coat and cowboy boots, like breaking it down. And then another video of me just like smashing plates with a baseball bat. And there's like random people commented on it and they were like, if anything, the cowboy boots prove that you're doing okay. And I was just like, why are people watching this? I don't want this to be what I get famous for, if anything. That's
Bro, I put my account on private.
I didn't think anyone was gonna see it. That's why it was public. And then by the time that I saw that like a lot of people saw it, I was like, it's too late now. Like, there's no point.
No, oh my God. So Tom has a TikTok. Shout out to Tom. And it's, he has like not radical views in a negative way, radical views in a communist way, right?
Yeah,
But it's also posts really great liberal TikToks with like backed up evidence. And I don't remember, one of them blew up. Like blew up. And it was a response to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And he had people that were doing duets of him. And one of them was a guy like loading a gun. Like, and I was like, Tom, please be safe out there, baby.
Oh my God, that's so concerning.
No, I know. And like, it was funny though. There were some really funny hate comments, and he admitted it too. Okay, what was the one that got me? I don't remember. I don't remember. It was something like "Pack it up, Lord Farquaad" or something. It was really funny.
That is so good. I hate that. That's so funny.
One TikTok that kind of it didn't blow up. It got like 400 likes, I think, and
That's
it was
pretty good though.
It was us when we dyed our hair green and she did the 2 strips purple.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone complimented my eyebrows because I had put green in my eyebrows because I was making a joke that I looked like the Joker and did my whole face like the Joker and then took it off for the TikTok. Everyone's like, oh, that's so sick. You dyed your eyebrows. I'm like, I don't have those kind of guts, dog. I'm like, maybe one day. I'm about to dye the blonde either red or neon green. It depends based on if I decide to go get it done by the girl who did it because love her. I would give her a shout out, but also I'm not going to.
No free clout.
Actually, she deserves it. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. That's why I'm not. Or I'm gonna get Lucy or my friend Chelsea from work to dye the blonde. But I want more blonde. So I'm like, that would involve bleach. And bleach
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens because my hair is different every other day because I don't. So one thing I can change and there's really no consequences.
There you go. That and like getting ear piercings, I feel like.
I want to get a second like a double piercing because I have these obnoxious like giant earrings. Like I don't know if you saw the picture I had on New Year's. I didn't post it anywhere except Snapchat, but I had giant dice earrings that I
Ooh.
bought at the beginning of Corona when my only coping mechanism was online shopping. I had these giant like, and I'm like, how cool would that be though with like baby hoops? You know, I feel like I could pull everything off like if I had baby hoops too. And I almost did it myself, but I was not mentally stable at that time. I was like, I'm gonna
I've
do this.
I've done all of my ear piercings by myself. And I have how many now? I got 4 on this side, 3 on this side, and a cartilage. I was mentally unwell during high school. But like they've all healed so well, and like I literally bought like piercing needles on Amazon for it.
Oh.
So like I know that it's like
Oh.
fine, except the first one that I did was so ratchet. I took a safety pin, um, and then I would like hold it over a little candle and like to get all the bacteria off of it so it would be like safe and stuff, and then I would take my Claire's ear cleaning solution and clean it and then clean my ear and then mark a little spot and then I pierced through it and I and I just left it in my ear for a while because I was like I need to make sure that the hole doesn't close, and then I would take it out and quickly try to put the earring in, and that was so bad. Why did I do that? It turned out fine, but
I'm horrified by it because this one situation that happened and I walked in during it. I had a roommate in art school who was piercing his septum ring.
oh,
Right?
absolutely not.
Don't do that on your own. I think every roommate learned that. Um, because I walk in from like a night of Taco Bell, walk in, and there was just blood in the sink. And he is standing over the sink, just blood. And I was like, what you doing, homie? And he was like, no, I was just like, I think I pierced it in the wrong spot. And I'm like, you're gonna do it again? You're gonna try again? No,
No.
no. He talked me out of a septum ring because I really wanted one for a long time. You know, I may get one of those like fake ones because I still am like, I can't get like a little nose piercing because my nose is upturned weird. I mean, I love my nose, but like, I don't know, because I have more of a pig nose. I feel like a septum makes more sense.
You should get like one of the fake ones and see if you like it.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if they have on. I have Amazon for one more month. I canceled my subscription, but I already paid for this month. So they're like, you got one more month. Tell me,
Mm.
good luck. Because it
I
was like your
never.
student's expiring, and I was like, then
Yeah.
I'm not keeping it.
I never signed up for Amazon Prime, but somehow I have it and I get charged every month, and that's happened since like freshman year of college, and I don't know, I've just never canceled it. I don't know how I got how am I getting scammed or like
Bro, my card got compromised. My card did not get compromised though until I tried to cancel Amazon the first time.
really?
The truth is out there. I think Amazon, I mean, it is the worst business. We can all say that, but like, I think Amazon compromised my card.
And also Jeff Bezos. What's his deal? I read somewhere that Jeff Bezos could give every single person in the world $1 billion and he would still have $14 billion. And I was like, that's insane. Give me $1 billion. Please.
Like enough to move somewhere. Like,
Like,
you don't have to give me $1 billion. Give me $1 million.
I'll take 1,000.
I'll take 100. I'm desperate. But like to like drop. I wish it was like, wasn't it like Nicki Minaj a couple years ago was like, send me your bills and I'll pay them. Was
Yeah,
that? I'm pretty sure that was
I
her, and
think it was some celebrity.
it was some celebrity, and like she paid like student loan, like paid completely, and I was like, man, I wish I had been in college then.
I know. It'd be nice.
I remember in high school being like, yeah, kill it. I have no debt. I'm in high school. I got nothing bad happening. But
Yeah.
nothing good ever happens to the Kennedys. I do genuinely think that describes my life in 2018. That like sound. Like think about it. It goes, what?
Yeah.
And that was November to the end of now. Oh, have you heard that song that blew up on TikTok, Driver's License? And there's a whole like,
Keep seeing stuff about it, but I literally haven't heard the song yet. Um, I looked it up on Spotify to like listen to it, and I just like haven't yet because I got distracted because Spotify recommended the sea shanty to me, so I've been listening to sea shanties. like the like the chance about like being on the high seas. I don't know why. Um, but that's where I'm at right now. I think it's because I go through phases with music where I just like listen to really bizarre music for points in time. Like November through December, I literally like only listen to Post Malone, and then the end of December, I basically only listen to Shipping Up to Boston. Um, it really spoke words to me. And then I got, and then I did my yearly wrap up thing, and then I was listening to my top hits of 2020 or whatever most played songs of 2020, and now I'm listening to sea shanties. Um, yeah, so I think that's pretty good description of where I'm at and how I'm feeling right now.
I stopped listening to my top 100 because it is almost exclusively Black Bear. And the top song, okay, whose best album was anonymous, and I completely put it on the back burner until the very end, right before Corona happened, which was
Mm-hmm.
bad timing because that album is depressing. And my top song was Pink Rolex, which is like I think the first song on the album, and it's really sad. Okay, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't remember listening to this that much though, and it came on in my car as I was driving home from work because I shuffled my like on repeat playlist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't even like this song this much. And I got way too into it. Like, I was like, I mean, there was a time I drove back from Nashville and was in the midst of a breakdown. That song came on and I sobbed to it. Like, I was like, also, Into the Unknown from Frozen 2.
It's a bop.
It's embarrassing how much I love that song, though. Like, it'll come on in my car and I'm like, yes, but then I'll stop at a stoplight and be like, nope, no one can hear this
Get
in my car.
embarrassed by this song. Yeah, dude, I feel that 100%. Like literally driving back to or home from school this last time, I think I played Hurricane by Bridget Mendler like 3 times in a row and was just literally screaming driving down the highway. And I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like people driving in the cars next to me definitely heard me and probably were really concerned, but I was having a moment. Also, um, Allie and AJ, you know those two girls from like the Disney Channel, they came out with
Yeah,
potential breakup song, but an explicit version of it.
it's killer.
It's so good. That song, I forgot how good that song was.
It took too long. My hair is in a weird thing where it's like the wig, that wig.
The wig, the vine where he like, yeah, dude, I
But
love
it,
that video.
oh no,
I miss Vine.
have you heard this was like a trend, I think, right when I got back on TikTok or right before I got off TikTok. And it's
Mhm.
the song Molly by Mindless Self Indulgence. And it's the one that's like, oh, liar. That's all I
Yeah.
listen to, actually. And I'm like listening to it, and at first I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is just about, this song was written about me, isn't it? I'm like, "Ugh, I gotta tell my therapist about this one." Like yesterday, I was showing Kian a song like a couple weekends ago, and I was like, oh, you know, when I listened to this during the worst time period of my life, I listened to the song all the time. And I was like, I should make every song I listened to while I was in a traumatic phase of my life playlist. And I did. And guess what? That song's on it.
I love that. Dude, I've been listening to, besides sea shanties, I found a playlist that has every single song that the Mars rover listened to, because at NASA they would play a song every morning to wake up the Mars rover, for whatever little task it had during that day, and each of the song goes along with the task that it has, which is so cute. I love that so much. Um, but I've been listening to it, and it's actually such a good playlist. It's so cute, and there's such an odd selection of songs on there, but I would recommend it. I love it. I feel like the little Mars rover doing my little tasks during the day, listening to songs. So cute.
That's so cute. I wake up to the most negative songs. This morning I was like, you know what I'm gonna listen to? My traumatic playlist on the way to work. And that's why I ended up sobbing on the way to work. And that is why we don't do the way home. I was like, yeah, I can't do that again. I can't show up
Yeah.
to my house. Like I can't do it again. Because I'm like, well, the thing is I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, this actually is like a really great song. Like Young Me really did that. But
Mhm.
then I'm like, I start singing it and I'm like, oh, remember that time that you were listening? And I'm like, no, I don't. No brain. And then it's like, yeah, you do. And then I'm like, yeah, I do. And then it's over for me. And then it's
Yeah.
over.
Songs are weird because like you link so many memories and stuff to them, and like different points of like times in your life, and it just like really fucks you up sometimes, or it's like this is great. There's no in between,
No,
which is
there's
weird.
songs I can never listen to again from like time periods. Like, I mean, beginning of college, there's songs I can't listen to. And it's not even because of like a person or something. It's like I was such a like the way I thought of those songs then, where I was like, oh, I love these songs. And then like now I'm like,
Yeah. Like you
uh-uh.
almost like cringe at yourself.
Oh, okay. I almost went on a rant about this on Snapchat the other day and decided against it because I know a lot of people who really like this band. AJR, you know
Mm.
who they are?
Mhm.
Their biggest song is like bang 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 right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't like their first album at all. But Abby came to Nashville in July after our
Mhm.
freshman year and showed me that album. And there was one song on it, I cannot tell you the name of it, but that I like. Oh, it's called Karma. If you want to go listen to the song that now makes me cringe, I hate it so much. Like there's songs that album that I'll still listen to, but that one no, because it was like it's just a song that I'm like I never liked AJR until that time period, and then I immediately jumped out of it,
Mhm.
like because I remember people I knew who liked AJR. It's a very specific kind of person.
It definitely
Like
is.
it's like my categories would be people that love Disney, which are my least favorite people. I'll say it before anyone else does. And then there's like probably Christian white girl who it makes her feel somewhat alive because she's dead inside. And then it's like mentally ill. That's a
That's
three
it.
categories. That's a three categories. Um,
Oh
like
no.
I remember people showing me at like musical theater. I did go on a rant about that actually on my Snapchat story, but um we were in the dressing room, they play it and they were all like, yeah, and I'm like, I never no. I was like, AJR is just they're I think they're very smart writers in a sense where it's like it's music people are gonna listen to on repeat. You know,
Mhm.
it's gonna do that to you. Like Bang, their song they play at the radio at work, and it is a banger. Okay, I'm on the hold with a company, and I'm just like, Okay. Yes, that happens, but I'm also like disappointing. There's some bangers, do not get me wrong, but it's just a disappointing. I almost saw them live with my sister, but I didn't because Corona.
God,
But
that really makes me upset that COVID has ruined live music.
and then I really could have told you the kind of groups because I would have seen them in action.
Mhm.
In
Exactly.
action. No, I saw someone who we both know, but I'm not going to say names because that's messed up to do. Who went to
No.
Disney for their 21st.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I don't know. It's just like I will never understand people that at a certain age are still into it.
There's like people that have lifetime passes to Disney basically. Which like yeah, go on vacation and have a good time, but I don't know, like it's like a cult almost.
It's like a thing where I'm like, it's great to have passions. It's great to throw yourself into something and really love it. But films that were made for children and you're an adult, that is like Disney bounding, which I don't know, you know what that is. Certainly you know.
No.
That's like when you dress up in casual clothes, but it's supposed to be after a Disney character. Like it's like people will do like Peter Pan and wear all green, or you'll do like Cinderella and wear all blue and like that kind of thing. That's a thing. I hope I'm not crazy. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
I
Um,
hate that if that's a thing. Jeez. What?
and that's one of the reasons I hate Disney people. One of them. Okay. And I was about to say I don't hate all of them. If I have friends who are like that, that's the side of them I don't like. Like you
Mhm.
could be the perfect, most beautiful angel person,
Yeah.
but if you have any of that, no. Because also the other day I spent 4 days in Nashville, so all my content's coming from that or work your voice. But
Mhm.
there's what's the new movie that came out? And that was I don't have Disney Plus or anything, and that's where they're releasing all their movies right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Ken's roommate done.
yeah, I borrow roommate or Disney Plus from one of my friends.
But like, what is the movie that just came out and it's about the little music man who's like, jazz, you like jazz? Like,
Oh, oh, uh, um, uh, it's it's like I don't. It's something with like
Soul.
soul.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Ken and I are excited to watch this because here's the thing. Every once in a while, Disney does not upset me. Okay.
Yeah.
Frozen 2, it does not get credit for it's written for mentally ill people. It wow. Wow, we didn't know we needed it, but we did. I saw
Mhm.
it in theater twice. I saw Frozen the first one though in theaters 5 times. My mom was obsessed with it. But this movie, it's the most disappointing Disney movie. And I didn't even get all the way through it. It was like it was so
Yeah.
repetitive with it was really pushing that music is the best thing that's ever happened to this guy. But I didn't like because when I saw the like this, what is it called? It's like the hinting commercials. I don't remember what they're called. The hinting trailers, the teasers, the like where it's like it shows like one thing and then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
coming here. I was like, this looks good. I was like, this is a cool idea.
But
Not
it was not
in
good.
theory, not in practice.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because like Kane's roommate and his girlfriend came in. They're like, "How'd you like it?" And we're like, "We barely got through it. Like, we didn't even watch the whole thing because it was so average."
Yeah.
It was one of those movies I know I'd watch and be like, "I wasted my time."
Yeah. With Disney stuff too, Disney is just a monopoly and they kind of ruin everything. That's my take on it. Like they ruin Star Wars, they ruin so many other series that they bought except for The Mandalorian. That show is absolutely fantastic and I cried at the end of it because oh my god, Baby Yoda is the love of my life. I know his name isn't Baby Yoda, but I still will call him that. Grogu. But he's so cute. You can't tell me he's not cute. All right, straight up, He's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I would die for him if he was real. That's the only good thing that Disney has put out for years, though. And it's because it's from a director that isn't George Lucas or isn't stealing creative property from interns or other companies. That's the only reason it was good.
I'm a big Star Wars nerd. That last movie is
I didn't
such
watch it.
it's such a debate because there's parts of it where I'm like, that just pissed me off. They did that to do that. Like, there's
Mhm.
no reason that made sense in any plot of the three movies. But like, go on, I mean, I only liked one character in the whole. What's the pilot guy's name? Poe. I want to say.
I think so. I don't
I
know.
said
I didn't watch the last one just because the one before that really just made me unhappy about it.
it was the most disappointing trilogy. But I wanted to watch The
They should have just
Mandalorian.
left it. They should have left it where it was. That's all I'm saying.
The thing, people hated the prequels. Why would you try again? Like, no,
Mhm.
I liked one of the prequels. I liked the third one, of course, because I love good characters becoming bad. That's like my thing. But like, why make another trilogy? In the first one, nothing happened. The second one wasn't in a new director and it just made no sense. And
Yeah.
then the third one, there were some really cool elements in it that I liked, but the ending I think was made to make people disappointed. I have friends who loved it. I have friends who loved the ending. And
Mhm.
like to some extent I do, but like I don't know, there's one thing and it's the only thing I can think about and I'm like that ruined me. Like I was so mad. I was leaving the theater and I was like, are you kidding me? I saw it 3 times in theaters though. My dad and I are both Star Wars nerds. Um all that to say, I didn't get to watch The Mandalorian because I don't have Disney Plus. I'm really sad about it. Um you know what? Disney did one thing good, okay? Say what you will, but I loved the Solo movie as one of the spin-off movies. Rogue One's also amazing. That one's better than the Solo movie.
I
But
never
now I'm
watched
just
those ones.
you
I've
Rogue One over Solo, definitely.
mhm.
Definitely. Because I don't associate that movie with Han Solo at all. At all, at all. But it's a great idea. Great
Mhm.
concept. And what's his name's in it? Oh my god. I can't think of his real name. Childish Gambino, that guy. I cannot think of his
Donald
name.
Glover. I love him.
He plays his part. You love him and hate him, and you just want to hug him and you want to punch him, and I love him.
He's such a good actor. It's actually ridiculous. And he's a really good writer. I've been watching Community, um, which he's in, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the lead writers for that show. Um, but yeah, he's great. I'm kind of upset that he doesn't make music anymore too because his music was so good. And I saw him at Lollapalooza, um, and he is such a good performer too. Um, he came on stage because he had a song with, I think it was 21 Savage, who was performing earlier in the day, and he came out with a neck brace on and like was his arm was in a sling and he had a boot on and stuff, and everyone saw him like on stage and was like, holy shit, like he can't perform if he looked, because he looked so unwell when he was on stage, but he was still throwing down and stuff. And then when it was like, because he was headlining the show at night, he came out and he was totally fine and everyone was like, did you just try to bamboozle us? Like, what is going on here? I was so confused. But, like,
Ha, gotcha.
yeah, for real. I was just like, okay, I guess. Good job. Glad you're
Weird
here.
place, but okay. No, I
It
mean
was weird.
he's one of those people that's good at everything he does,
Yeah. It's a
and I
freaking
want to
triple
be.
threat, and it pisses me off. I wish I was that talented.
I wish I could release music that's fantastic, be a good actor, and be a good writer. I am none of the above. Can I at least have one? Can I have one, please?
Can I have at least, like, a percentage of that? Like, a little bit.
2%.
Yeah.
I got a good 2%. But that's it. That's all I got going for me.
Yeah.
I love him. He deserves the world. If you watch Solo, he's really the star on it. Like the guy who plays Solo is very attractive. I did see it in theater 5 times while I was wasn't very young. I think I was 17, 18. I was in love with that man. I was in love with that man. He is very good looking. But Daniel, after watching it recently, Daniel Glover's the best in that movie for sure. For sure, for sure. I just
Yeah.
liked the way he looked. At one point, he wears a little fur coat, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to be your fur coat."
So Emma would simp for Donald Glover.
Yes,
Hardcore.
I would die for that man. There are people I just simp for, and they're entertainers, and they will never know me. I will never know them. It's like me with Noel Miller, where everything he
It's
does, I'm like,
so
"Haha."
upsetting. It's so upsetting.
Bro, I love his fiance though. I finally watched a
I
video with
know.
both of them, and
She's
they bounce
so
off of each other so well.
she's so
And I'm
funny.
like, I
Yeah.
love you.
Um cuz Noel Miller is friends with this Hassan guy. I'm pretty sure his name's Hassan. I don't want to fuck it up. But like he like gives me the same vibes and I like high key am a simp for this man. He's so attractive. So attractive. And I know he'll
Like,
never know I exist and it's so upsetting. Why can't celebrities just like understand like
just know.
God, like Harry Styles acknowledge me once. No, it's never gonna happen. And it
I just
crushes you. It crushes you a little bit every time you think about it.
the thing is, I'd love to have a conversation with Noel, but I know he'd just make fun of me. And
Yeah,
I kind of
big
love it,
big
but like
facts.
I hate it. Like, I'm like, because the thing is Lucy and I, when because she's stayed here a couple times, but last time she stayed here, we exclusively watched Tiny Meat Gang music videos and talked about Cody and Noel and the differences. Okay. And Noel has this very cool energy about him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like he just seems like cool.
Yeah.
And he directs stuff and he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
And Cody's just like, I love him. I love him. This is gonna sound like I hate Cody. I love Cody. But he has this completely opposite, which is why they make sense. Like completely opposite vibe where it's like
Yeah.
he's cool, but when he's like acting cool, it doesn't come off that way at all.
Yeah.
Like he's almost the funny one.
Yeah.
I hate it because I'm like, I used to simp for Cody back when I first
I think
watched them.
everyone used to
Cody,
simp for Cody and now the tables have turned and everyone simps for Noel now. Except
like the way
people are
they punch me in the face. Like I listened to their entire podcast in 1 year, and well, that's not that much of a flex, but the episode comes out, I'm on it. I keep up with my boys.
yeah.
I am one of them. It was really funny though, because it's like I'm listening to them, and it's like, yeah, a lot of it is hypersexual. The podcast is Tiny Meat Gang. It's
Mhm.
really funny to me though.
Yeah.
And then people like get in my car and it starts playing, and they're like,
And it's
"What?"
very
And
uncomfortable.
I'm like, no, this is just how my mind. Like, I really enjoy this because me too.
Yeah. It's bad when cuz oh my god, they make sex sounds so much in their podcast and it's really hard to listen to it without feeling like you're going to be judged because what if someone hears it because it's literally nothing except for two grown ass men making sex sounds in a studio.
It The thing that makes me sad is I'll try to make this. No, you know what? We're gonna go off about this because this makes me so mad. So yeah, here's an irrational beef thing. No, it's not irrational. This is so rational. Um, so I hang out with Kean and his roommate a lot. They are both guys, obviously,
Mhm.
and we have a lot of talk that's like I'm very comfortable with anything they want to talk about. Okay,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it's fine. I think they're not. I'm not like hanging out with the guys. It's just like I feel like I can make more uncomfortable jokes. because what are
Yeah.
they gonna do? But if I do the fake moaning thing that Noelle and Cody do, they think it's not funny. Like they're like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Because it's like you do the clapping thing in it, and it's so funny. That is
Yeah.
instantly funny. But people don't like it, and I guess people just don't like
People
it.
just don't like it in general.
Yeah, it just came full circle where I was like, well, actually, actually, I kind of get it. But like, I don't know. I listened because when I first listened to the podcast and that happened, I was like, I'm good, homie. I'm good, homie. I don't want any of this. And then it became to the point where I was like, because there was a time period in the podcast where that was like, they just do it randomly.
Yeah.
And that was the best time period though, because then they'd have comments that people were like, I was at work and had my sound on because I thought you guys weren't going to do it this episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, just don't listen to that podcast out loud. You don't do it. You have headphones in or you're in your car. You do
And
not
no one should listen to a podcast out loud.
That makes me so miserably uncomfortable. Like, I mean, I don't listen. I listen to like 3 3 podcasts consistently. I'm back on Emma Chamberlain's, but and none of them, like 2 of the 3 are not inappropriate in the slightest. It's just having a talk, talking. There's cursing, but like
Yeah.
that one, that's like I make sure before I get in any car with my parents, because my phone Bluetooths to everything right away. I make sure that is not even. I will click another song, just so it, like, if it's gonna play, it's gonna play that. It's not gonna play them, because I'm like, they also just say the most absurd things,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah. See, I listen to them usually when I'm driving, which is the most fun. Because I'm in the office, I start laughing and I start playing it off by coughing, and then I just sound like I have corona.
And also, playing a laugh off with a cough never works. People always know. I would know. I have learned from experience. Don't even try. Just laugh. It's gonna make it better because it's gonna be less uncomfortable for you and for everyone else.
I was gonna say, when you're doing it in like situations we've been in, when that's a thing, it's more uncomfortable if you try to block it. Much more uncomfortable.
Just the worst thing to happen, for real. Jesus.
It's fun. I mean, when I was alone in the office, and I was never 100% alone, but like when I was with like 5 other people spread out across our office, I had the best time. I just laugh. This is before I made calls all day too, though. I would like do my work. I'm listening to the Tiny Weekend podcast. There was one episode I was crying at work. I thought it was so funny. So I went and showed Lucy it, because Lucy, I mean, she listens to our podcast.
What up, Lucy?
She actually did. Last time she was like, oh, I listened to your podcast on the way here. And I was like,
oh, finally, a support, the support that we need.
The support from the people that like us two were friends with. Like, not our friends collectively. Our friends weren't listening to it, which is great. I feel so rejected.
Rip.
But I showed her this part of this podcast that I had cried over, and I have never seen such a blank face on a person. Ever.
That's so sad.
So, because it was like their 1-year anniversary of the podcast, and so they sang happy birthday very auto-tuned. I don't know why it was so funny. It was so funny because it went from like a conversation to that, and it was it killed me. Okay, Lucy didn't find it funny at all. And I was like, damn, this is not. So I haven't showed anybody anything from the podcast since, just because I'm like, it's not funny.
That's the worst. That's the worst feeling, is when like you show someone something that you think is really funny and then they don't laugh at it, or they don't think it's funny, and then you just have to awkwardly be like, okay,
Well, that's what I don't show people TikToks anymore because I have such a warped sense of humor. I told you
Same.
about one last time we were talking that I can't really repeat on here, but like I thought that was so funny and it's so dark.
Mhm.
And like I told someone about it and without showing them because I was like I feel like it's better almost if you don't always show them because it's more
Mhm.
cutthroat if you do. Didn't find it funny and I was like, well, that's actually really funny, but
Rip.
okay.
Like
What do
I
you?
like to think that I'm funny, but maybe someone doesn't think that, and that makes me sad.
How much do you want to bet there's someone sitting, hopefully in their car? I like the idea of someone listening to me talk in their car, but they're just
Mhm.
listening to complete blank. None of this has been funny to them.
Fuck. Fuck you. Fuck that person, dude. We don't need you. Just kidding. We do. Please listen. But like also, go fuck yourself if you don't think I'm funny.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think my best moment would be if there were people that got together who hated us who listened to it.
Hate
Just
listening? Oh, I love that. Everyone should hate listen to this podcast from now on.
only hate listen, do not like it. No, I'm kidding. And we need the people who actually like it too. But I
Yeah.
like the idea that all of my enemies throughout my whole life saw it one time on my Instagram and was like, oh my God, she has a podcast. And went and listened and was just like, oh, I hate her. Like, that's the goal. As soon as I have someone who's like, oh, I hate her, I'm going to listen to the pod. That's when we win.
Yeah.
That's strategy.
Hopefully we'll get there one day. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You can't hurt me. I wrote a song that's so bad on Spotify. You can't hurt me. I also exclusively listen to Black Bear. Nothing phases me anymore.
Oh God. I think that's a good point to end this. We're unwell now.
Yeah, it's probably a good stopping place here.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you guys for watching another podcast episode. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you back sometime soon for another episode. Hopefully nothing else goes bad this year, but
You just jinxed it.
I did. Fuck. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Peace.